Okay, I promise this is not going to become a channel of cheap Amazon rigs, but this one that we're going to unbox today was just too interesting to not check out. All right, unboxing. Not my strongest suit here, but I think I got this where we can all see what's going on. So this guy right here is apparently quite a lot like a TRX4M from what I have read in the reviews and from other online sources. So we're going to check it out and we're going to kind of just take a look at it and see how close it really is. Alright, no tape or any kind of seal there. So we'll start with the actual truck itself, getting it out of here. Hefty guy. Here's the controller. Looks like a cheap controller, not too much to speak of, but we will go over it when we can. Okay, so this guy right here is the Austar 8650, and it is a TRX4M clone. There are some videos on YouTube where they will break it down in detail, but overall, there are some differences, and I'll go ahead and I'll point those out as we go. But for now, real quick, let's just take a look at what you get. You get a unlicensed Jeep body on what looks very, very, very much like a TRX4M chassis. Some of the main differences are the axles are wider, and so is the steering length. So you can put TRX4M size stuff on there, but the stock axles here are wider. It does look like you might be able to get the diff cover on there. I haven't tried, so I don't know for sure. But yeah, if you were trying to build this, I would probably just go ahead and buy some whole axles. That's the way to go anyway now. It has ball bearings, all four wheels and in the transmission, and it does not have oil-filled shocks. It has friction shocks, and they feel a little bit stiffer than the TRX4M shocks would. But overall, it's a pretty good deal. The steering servo apparently has metal gears, so that is another sort of upgrade on what the TRX4M offers. But just overall, looking at it, it looks nice. It does do like a clipless body system, similar to the TRX4M. It's just a lot stiffer and not nearly as easy to do, but it works just the same. It's got lights. It's got a little light controller in here as well. We have inner fenders, which is pretty cool. I appreciate that. I think inner fenders are something that we don't see a lot on these mini rigs, and it's kind of nice to see. We have a way, way bigger motor in here. This is more similar to like a 370 size motor, and it has an open end bell. So it's a lot different than what I would have expected. Got a 2-in-1 ESC receiver back here. Okay, so if you look in here, you can see where your channel inputs are there. Basically, all that's in there is a steering servo, and then you put lights in the rest for now. There's a power switch, which is interesting, and there is where the motor goes. Pretty simple. We got some, looks like 1.3 wheels. It actually says, yeah, R1.3 here on the tire. So these look very similar to Endura tires. They're harder by a good bit, but they look like Endura tires. They got the same sort of text on there. So they do feel sticky. But they're definitely not soft like a good aftermarket tire would be. I would say they're probably not super great or super not great. They're probably just a solid stock tire. You definitely won't have any issue with sidewall there though. All these mounting screws and stuff like that. First of all, they're all hex up here, which is nice, but they are also just like the TRX4M. So TRX4M parts should fit on here, shouldn't be an issue, and yeah, obviously wider up here, by the way. I could compare it, but this looks more like a plus 4. As a matter of fact, why don't we just grab a plus 4 and compare? Here, Defender. Yeah, okay, so they are, it's like a wide axle TRX4M, because that is the Endura Diamond axles right there. That's how your fit is going to look. These are very similar to the Traxxas, they're just not soft. Quick Traxxas body removal, I mean, wham, bam, that fast. This guy here, not even close. Trying to put the body on, let's just see, I'm not even going to do the lights, let's just try here. So getting it lined up, first of all, just pressing it, I haven't had any luck there. So I've had to lift it up here, kind of get lined up, and then just like work it in and push it, that's fine. It's just not as good. I mean, it's still cool being a clipless body system, and it's still honestly a lot easier to use than the FMS. It's just not as good as the Traxxas, and that's all there is to it. Another area where there's a change here is the battery tray. The battery tray is different. It mounts the same as a TRX4M battery tray, but it is just a different design. It's not the same at all. It still routes your wires through it though, which is pretty cool. Like, this is still just as cleanly wired as a TRX4M would be, so happy with that. You know, you're like one zip tie away right here, and you're done. I'm gonna take these tire foams out though, because this is just too stiff. So I'm gonna take the tire foams out and see if I can get a little bit more grip out of it. Oh, another thing, and this is kind of like a really welcome thing for me, we don't have any O-rings here. This is not gonna be an issue. A lot of the places where the TRX4M has problems are actually not a problem on this particular truck, which I think is really cool. The shocks remain a problem because these just flat out aren't oil filled, but they're not gonna get stuck, which is pretty cool. And if this servo is as Metal Gear as they say it is, you shouldn't break this. So I'm interested to see. So anyway, that is the chassis. Here's another look at the body. You know, just the typical unlicensed Jeep grill here. They do give you stickers, which I'll show you guys in just a second, that are all Jeep branding. So you could Jeep it out for sure. Extra tire in the back's pretty neat. Probably not going to be great for performance, but it's great for looks, and it's a real tire, so that's cool. The radio is this. It's got foam, which is cool, and it's got like a cool little racing wheel. Definitely one-handable. The trigger is very stiff, but that's fine. You have your steering trim, your throttle trim here. I don't know what ATV is, so we'll find out. We'll find that out. There's your power switch. Here's another switch that I would imagine is for lights. Up top here we have the steering reversing, we have the throttle reversing, and then we have a 1, 2, 3. I imagine this is a throttle limiting switch here, so at 1 I would guess that we are as slow as we can get, and then at 3 we actually get full power. All there is left to do is take it out and take it for a spin. Hopefully it's good. guys, we're back. Was literally the hottest crawling experience of my entire life today. If you are on the East Coast or in the Southeast or anything like that, I know you know what I'm talking about. It needs to let up. It is crazy out there. Anyway, we took the Austar out. We had a nice, very thorough crawling / trail running session with it, and here are my thoughts. Here is my review. I can get it done in one sentence. Austar has made a better Traxxas TRX4M than Traxxas did. Period. That's it. That's my statement. And here's why. I have some concrete reasons. Number one, the steering servo on my particular Austar, whatever model number it is very, very fast. It is probably one of the fastest ready-to-run steering servos that I have had the pleasure of using. And it's more than torquey enough, at least in my case, for everything I needed it to. Never did I feel that the steering servo on this was lacking, and I put it in some situations where I have had other steering servos come up short. So that's interesting to me because reading about this rig and reading posts and things that people have made about this, people have mostly complained about the steering servo, saying that it was weak, and that is not something that I've experienced here. And I do have a suspicion that this is like an updated model maybe, because a lot of people also get they get beadlock wheels with theirs, whereas mine are not. So yeah, there's a difference there. So I'm wondering if the steering servo on this guy has been updated, because on this it is quite good for a little ready to run. I didn't find it lacking. I was impressed even. Another area where I think that this little clone edges out the Traxxas is with the electronics. The electronics on this guy are super, super smooth and dead silent. Like the low speed control on it for a ready to run, fantastic. I had a great experience with this thing. It did super well as far as like just the whole throttle experience was really, really good. So I liked it. Top speed is comparable to a TRX4M. It's about walking speed. It's not slow. It's not going to keep you slowed down on the trails really, but it's not going to pull away from you. So just know that. And another place where this guy pulls ahead of the TRX4M is that it comes with ball bearings throughout. Now I know that there is an argument some people have where they think that bushings are better because you can get them wet and they're not going to rust. Okay, cool. You know, maintenance guys, dry it off. So it does come with ball bearings, and that is huge. There is no binding or like weird TRX4M like, you know, new owner issues to experience with the Austar. Like it didn't bind. I had no weird tire rubbing. None of that kind of stuff. So big ups to Austar for at least getting like the geometry of everything to where it's not gonna like, you know, roll itself over going straight. There are a couple areas where I do think the Traxxas is a little bit better than the Austar. One is the licensed bodies. Now this is not a huge deal. This looks very much like a Jeep Wrangler. Very much, and I think that it's very detailed and it's a very beautiful, well-painted body. It looks really good. But it's not licensed, and Traxxas has the license for their bodies, so that is a plus for Traxxas. I will say that the Austar comes with a bunch of stickers that say things like Jeep, Rubicon, and Discovery Channel, and all sorts of different things on here. You get a trailer hitch. I don't know if that's really a big plus, but you get that. And I don't know, overall, the Austar, I think, is a better, it's a better experience. And here's another reason, and this is a big reason. The Austar, this little rig right here, ready to run with a battery, lithium-ion battery. Okay, Traxxas, at least they have a LiPo. But that LiPo has a proprietary connector. This does not. So that's a... Is that a plus for this one? I don't know. I ran LiPos in this. Back to my point here. Huge difference between the two is the amount of dollar bills that you're going to have to separate with to get the Austar versus the Traxxas TRX4M. And this is like $60 cheaper than like the Defender or Bronco. I think those are like 150 bucks. 90. And I think I even had a 10% off coupon. Maybe that's what made it 90. But like this thing is like $90 or $100. So you're saving 50 bucks off the rip. But it's also just like a better rig. I'm sorry, Traxxas. I love Traxxas stuff. But the TRX4M, I've been vocal about this, was not up to snuff, in my opinion, for the kind of quality I expect from Traxxas. And I'm sorry to say it, but Austar created what I think Traxxas should have as far as the TRX4M goes. I'm going to say it's not waterproof. It might be water resistant, like to like a splash or something like that, but I submerged this thing, and eventually I did lose throttle control. However, I didn't smell any like smoked electronics, and I just now, earlier before filming this, kind of tried it, and it was trying to move. So I do think that maybe when it dries, it'll be okay. If not, you know, whatever. I'm planning to upgrade this anyway. I'm doing a budget TRX4M style build probably with this, so there's a little peek into the future. But yeah, good rig, love it. Absolutely think that it's worth your money. If you're looking for a TRX4M, you should probably buy this thing. Prime Day's coming up, and it's available on Amazon. I got it the next day. Parts support, no need to worry about that because it's basically a TRX4M. Anything for the TRX4M should probably fit this. I don't know about specific axle parts. I'll have to try that out. I'll let you guys know. Let's do a budget TRX4M build with a not TRX4M. Anyway, you guys, let me know what you think. I'm kind of sorry to say that the cheap Amazon version is better than the original, but like that's like my honest review. And truthfully, I make these reviews to give you guys like the best knowledge before you buy something as possible. And I mean, that's just the truth. So yeah, let me know what you think about the little Austar. Let me know if you guys are interested in watching like a budget build. I'm thinking about putting like a dollar amount on it and going to town. Anyway, if you like this video, you should give me a like, and if you like this type of content, you should subscribe because I post videos like this every week. It's always something new, it's always something fun, and it's always something RC related. With that being said, I think this is a video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.